All a bit tense, isn't it, Trevor?
Well, he got the free kick. I'm not sure what he was complaining about there.
Ince having to hurdle another tackle. And now McClair, he's into the centre much more in the second half. You know, he's moved in from the right-hand side, Brian McClair, and he's having some good play and some good touches. This is Wallace. Webb. Lee Martin from left back, an inspired run on the far side. A chance here, and a goal!
First impressions were it was very strict. You know, he laid the rules down, and you know, if we didn't stick by them, that was it. We were going to be out the door. And we knew that from the word go, really. But I mean, I was breaking into the first team when Ron Atkinson was here, and then he obviously got sacked, and it sort of like that was like a step back for me. It was about a year then until I got into the first team. So yeah, it was a bit of a change. I mean, he was great with all the young lads. I think that was one of his fortes, really. Sort of like, you know, took them under the wing. If they had a bit of talent, you know, he saw the talent and sort of like tried to push you through and encourage you. So yeah, he was really good with me. Well, I mean, a lot of people have said over the years that you know, he was for the chop if we didn't win the FA Cup that year. I was only 21 at the time, so I tended to just get on with my football and not really take much notice of what was going on, you know, in the press or whatever. But I think probably the older players, Robson and Neil Webb and Brian McClair and the likes, probably was on their minds. But it didn't really bother me. I think it was a relief. I mean, it was a strange FA Cup run because every game was away from home. I think every game was on a Sunday as well. So it was. I mean, that was a tough game because they were playing well at the time, Forest. And Mark Robbins popped the winner, and it was a relief because we thought we could really do it from then on.
Hereford, that was a
Hereford, that was a strange one. I mean, it was 0-0, and somebody blew a whistle in the crowd, and everybody stopped in all our defence stopped in the penalty area, and they had a shot, and Jim Leighton carried on playing and saved the shot. Otherwise, they'd have probably won the game. But that was a strange happening. We felt on a roll. I think. From the word go, really, we thought we could win it, because we had a good side, and I think it was just a matter of time when we were going to win something. But there were some difficult games in that cup. Like I said, Newcastle was the next one. That was a close one as well, 3-2. And Sheffield United was a 1-0 again. So there was some tough games, yeah. Semi-final, yeah, that's one that really stands out in my mind. The two Oldham games. It was at Main Road as well, which not a place I like going to very often, but it was. They were probably two of the best games, you know, that I've played apart from the two cup finals.
Robson. Redfern. Still Robson. Wallace. Robson just inside. Give it me back. He's screaming to be giving it back. Wallace. Oh, it's going to go in. Yes, McClair.
And now McClair, he's into the centre much more in the second half. You know, he's moved in from the right-hand side, Brian McClair, and he's having some good play and some good touches. This is Wallace. Webb. Lee Martin from left back, an inspired run on the far side. A chance here, and a goal!
Well, I mean, a funny story actually before the game was me and Paul Ince were sat having breakfast that morning, and Paul said to me, he said, do you think you could be the hero tonight? And you know, obviously went to play the game and scored the goal, and it's just that little point I can remember of the day that Paul said that, and it actually happened. But the game wasn't the best of games. They tried to kick us off the park, and obviously Neil Webb crossed the ball to me with 20-30 minutes to go and chested it down and stuck it in the back of the net, which didn't often happen with me, which was, yeah, and I actually went down with cramp as well at the time, so I thought I've got to stay on the pitch. Yeah, that was the end of the season, and you know, I went home the day after, and there were people at the door, the papers were there, you know, can we take a photograph of your dog? And you sat next to your dog. It was a bit strange because I wasn't used to all that attention. and it was sort of like all at once. But, then I got invited to go on a tour. Oh, I didn't get invited, I got told I was going on tour to Germany with the reserves as a first team player. I don't think anybody else was available, so I had to go actually on tour to Germany a couple of days after the cup final, which was a bit of brought me back down to earth quite quick. Whether Alex did that purposely, I'm not sure. But my wife was pregnant as well. She had about 2 weeks to go, so that was another reason I didn't want to go. But I ended up going in the end. From a personal point of view, he's a very genuine person. He's certainly looked after me over the years. Even now, I've been away from the club for 6 years now, and even now when I come back, he's always very welcoming. You know, do I need any help with anything? Just a genuine person. I mean, obviously the press see the other side of him and heat of the moment stuff, but away from that, he's a nice guy. Yeah. Celtic came out of the blue really. It was Lou was manager up there at the time. He rang me up out of the blue on a Sunday night and, you know, we want to sign you and can you come up Monday morning? So I said, yeah, I'll come up, because I was out of contract at the time. So I thought I better phone Alex just to let him know what's happening. So I phoned Alex up and he went absolutely mad at me down the phone. He you know, he said, you're not going up there. It's, you know, because he played for Rangers. So you're not going up there. You've got a reserve game tomorrow. You'll be in at 10 o'clock. Fair enough, yeah. So half an hour later, he rang me back. He said, "Yeah, you go and talk to Celtics. And you know, sorry for having a go at you. And you know, if you want any help, I'll come up with you and sort your contract out." So I went up on the Monday and more or less signed the contract there and then, and moved up on the Wednesday. So it all happened so quick, really. Well, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's nice to be remembered for something good. I mean, I scored a couple of own goals as well, and people still remind me of those. But it's nice, you know, more or less every other day somebody mentions it. Oh, that's Lee Mike scored the win in the cup final, which is great. Yeah.
And to be fair, since then they've never looked back, have they?
Well, not really. I mean, it's the first one we won. It's the first trophy that Alex won, and since then they've just gone on and it's gone better and better, and it's phenomenal now. It really is.
So you take all the credit then, don't you?
I don't take all the credit. You know, I take the credit for scoring a goal, and that was it.